yeah, so $17.50 gets me to my maintenance rate, and then everything I burn on top of that is what I got to eat if I want to gain weight. So if I'm burning, if I'm commuting both ways, or like I'm training or whatever, I've got to eat. I keep hearing like noises. But I've got to eat 3,000-4,000 calories a day, but all those calories cost money. So I guess I can eat at work, but it's not exactly the most nutritious food. So I guess the entire bleachers just like to creak and crack for no reason. Yeah, so when you got to spend like when I had no budget on food, I was just buying whatever I needed or wanted to eat. I was spending like a good $130 a week or so at Walmart, and then I had a sponsorship, like a little discount thing, like a store credit for this nutrition website, and I was buying stuff from there. Even with the help, it's like, you just gotta spend $50 every couple weeks or something, and so I'm spending like $700 a month on food. And if I'm trying to live frugal and I don't do any physical activity or anything like that, I could easily live on $100 to $200 a month if I really stretch it. So yeah, I just found that I've been in a tough financial spot these last couple of years. So I just couldn't justify trying to like grind so hard and work on myself, work on my physique when it's already good anyway. I'm not really training for anything in specific. Obviously I could just make progress and just become like more flexible, or do more push-ups, do more pull-ups, get stronger or whatever. But I just really didn't see a point, and I wasn't very motivated either. I had no real reason to do that. So it's hard for me to grab onto something that's not, it doesn't have like real underlying purpose. But that's where we get to this, because you have an example, a first-hand example of a real person that says that I cannot do something that I've already done, and then he's like directly asking me for proof for that. So someone out their jacket. So I'm just thinking like, okay, this is it right here. It's go time. This is the green light. Like, it's time to get up and get out here and start like just going as hard as I can. Cause now I can afford all the food I need and all the stuff now, but especially like if I'm trying to cut down and get as lean as possible, get like my real actual goal, what would make me happy, what I would want to see would be like anywhere, anything in the 4% body fat. I like. I know it can get a little bit dangerous with your health. I don't know if it's like threatening or anything, or what the actual side effects would be, like if you would risk having like a heart attack or something like that. But if you were at like 3, 2, or 1% body fat, I probably would not actually be physically able to outrun my calories that I would like need to have. I don't, without like steroids, I don't think that's like naturally attainable. I mean definitely like 4% is easily attainable to me. Apparently other people think that is like outrageous. How could you say that? It's like saying like, oh yeah, I could just take flight right now. I could just like stand right here and just launch up into the sky. and I could just fly around like Neo in the Matrix right now. It's actually, I do it all the time. You know, that's like, they treat it, like I said that, but it's actually like even more intense. But it's funny because it's something that, that like thousands, probably tens, hundreds of thousands of people are just normal, regular people that are at that body fat percent, and they don't even work out. And then you have the bodybuilders and stuff. I mean, you have Ronnie Coleman saying he was at like 0.33 or red on the negative scale in the underwater body fat test, whatever. And then people are like, oh yeah, he's just saying that. He's just saying that. Like, that's not even possible. That's not actually true. You got to have body fat. And it's like, okay, but Ronnie Coleman was, you know, 8-time Mr. Olympia, greatest bodybuilder of all time. Definitely on, you know, later in his career, as like he was dominating at the top, he was on whatever gear. So is it really that hard to believe? You know, I just, it just shocks me that people like walk around just thinking these things. They just like, they have such a closed mind. It just doesn't really make a lot of sense. You know, if you were somebody that, you know, obviously this guy's like someone who's inspired somewhere along the lines, you know, he's got a goal, right, to like lose weight and get in shape and get like ripped or whatever, work out and get strong and do all these things. But then at the same time, he'll turn on himself and he'll deny facts about like the very thing that he's doing. He's going to act like he knows everything. In the same moment that he's the student, he's also the master, apparently. So I just never will understand that. But what I do understand is how to push myself to my limits. And then right at that point, right when I hit my limit, that's when I actually start pushing myself. Getting to the limit is just the start of whatever it is that you're doing. That improvement is made in the unknown every single time, no matter what it is. It could be the most minute thing you could think of, but when you approach every single thing you do in your life the same exact way, then that, you know, the pattern is gonna, it's gonna, I feel like it grows exponentially over time. So if it's a bad pattern, then when that compounds 2, 3, 5 years time, 10 years time, you know, your life can be, and you know, anybody can change their life really, you know, you probably overnight if you just get lucky. But more often than not, if you do something or you think a certain way for 6 months or a year or 2 years, then you're probably going to keep thinking that way. So I know that's a very like broad kind of blanket statement, like very general, but that's how my brain works. I'm out, you know, it's what it's like living with what I would call a very severe case of ADHD. Let's see if we can jump this. How do I turn this thing around? How do I whip this baby into overdrive? I don't think I can. I don't think it works like that. But there's a hurdle and I want to jump it. I used to like see how high of a hurdle I could jump. I'd stack rocks under it. I'd put it on the highest setting and just keep going up, and I could get to like here. And I could probably just jump this raw. But yeah, so I don't know, I think it'll be a little bit different every day. I got like a gym attached to my apartment, and then I got, you know, this track and whatever, but I want to like just upload a daily, you know, I'll just start with a 30-day like weight loss journey, you know what I'm saying? Like cutting, 30-day cut as much as possible, and see where I try to get some results. And then if I want to do something else like that, I mean, I'm sure with the power of the internet, there's going to be a lot more than just this one guy saying that, like, I'm just talking, you know, I'm just blowing smoke, I'm just talking shit. But that would be great, because that would give me a reason to actually like be the best form of myself. I mean, I guess really when it comes down to it, it's got to be all about your own philosophy, you know, like David Goggins always says, you know, he doesn't get ready, he stays ready. And more things along that sort of that follow that principle of like if that guy were to say to me that like you couldn't get sub 10% body fat, that's not possible, like I don't believe you, you're full of shit. But if I had already been doing all this whole time, the running, the training, the dieting, like if I had already just been grinding like David Goggins always is, I would already be at like 5% body fat, and I would already be totally shredded and built and like just, you know, striped up. Like I'd be able to just walk into any gym and get a body scan done right in front of his face that day and send in the results. And instead now I'm having to get up and come out here and do this, you know, after the fact, after the conversation has already happened, and the volition is all off of the interaction, but like it's not coming from me. It's not, you know what I'm saying? So real improvement has to be sourced from within. You just, if you only, I really I rely on dopamine rushes. That's why I learned about myself recently, was that I've got a horrible tendency and habit that is like pretty life altering, I would say, where I just chase the moment. And I'm just always looking for like, I've never done drugs, I've never drank, I've never taken anything, like I'm 100% clean, like never even hit a vape or whatever. Like I don't even drink soda. Like I'm super clean in that way. But it's just in my own daily life, my habits of like, just, you know, I get on YouTube, I'm just watching YouTube videos or whatever, and I'm not really, like I just can never focus on what I'm doing or focus on one goal for a really long time and achieve it. I've always just got other things going on. So, you know, when you spread yourself too thin and you're never walking in any one given direction, you're just all over the place. You know, that's just my life in a nutshell. Always has been, but it won't always be like that, because when you're aware of something, that's when you start to control it, obviously. So yeah, I think this is a good lesson to be learned even at 22. You know, really, when you think about it, I'm just only at the first small fraction of my life. I can still learn and change and whatever, and adapt to my to the future that I want. And now that my finances are square and I'm reaching a place that I've never been at before, yeah, I think it's time to start taking the rest of my life in that same direction, and just really, you know, shipping myself to the island of success. That's what I would call that. It's in your mind. It's all in your mind. It's always in your mind. It's always there. It's just waiting. It just took that conversation with that one guy to bring this out of me, but it's always been there. You know, it's all, I already know all this stuff. I've known it for years. I just haven't done anything about it because I've been off chasing dopamine and just not doing shit with my life. Really, it's just called laziness. That's what the older generation would call it. It's not, you know, you don't have to make up all these weird, stupid labels with long names. You can just say you're fucking lazy and then get up and do something about it. So that's what my dad would say. That's how he talks. I believe in that. That's what I know, you know, in my from my life. That's just facts. That's all it is facts. So let's jump this hurdle. All right. So obviously I didn't have a plan going into this. This is kind of all off the top of the head. I do want to do an actual workout. I just don't really know like what I'm doing. So maybe I need to look up a 30-day like super hardcore progressive like cutting thing. I could just start with like the One Punch Man workout, I guess, of doing like 6 miles, or it's 10 kilometers. It's like 6.1 miles, 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats. But I think that's honestly a little bit too easy. I mean, I could start with that. But I don't think I have everything I need to do that out here. It's not really the best conditions for it either. I'm like shirtless, absolutely cold, just got off work. So I think it's still pretty early. I got off work pretty early today. But yeah, I think. What are we gonna do? I think I'm gonna put all this footage on my computer, compile it together, put something out there on the channel, and get this ball rolling. But yeah, I can get up every day, very first thing I do, just like Brian Shaw, go straight to the gym, start my workout, get that, like, don't even eat or anything, just go and work out, get that done, and then start your day right, you know? That way, no matter what happens for the rest of that day, you've already done like the most important thing, and that's doing something that's good for yourself. You know, that's always gonna have the best. It's gonna set your mind up in the best place, and it's just gonna angle you towards greatness. So yeah, I say record my workout when I wake up and just begin.